Renegades versus Power. We've seen this matchup hundreds of times. Well, maybe not hundreds, but at least in the 30s between these two teams over the last multiple years. And it's going to start off with CJ, the highest goal scorer in OCE, getting the first.
Actually, if we were to go by individual games between these two, not series, I do believe it would be in the hundreds. That said, CJ, absolute strike into that middle of the net. These two teams very familiar with each other, and I feel like we've seen that goal from CJ as well in the past, coming from those tight angles.
Battle too.
That said, these two lineups have been together so long that this has become what I think a lot of more recent fans would consider that status quo, because ever since RLCS, when RLCS really became truly international, it felt like these have been the two lineups constantly at the top of OCE, constantly going at it, just like Kami will go at this goal. He scared you on the post, but was there to follow it through.
Yeah, it looked like he missed it, but fortunate for Kami, it was just close enough to hit the crossbar so he could get a little bit further past Torsos, who was in a very precarious position.
Fever as well, finding that bump off. Ways to open the door up for anyone. Fever stuck at the third man role, has to play some corner defense now.
This is a bit of a breakaway. Quite an opening for Kami.
No!
Does go off the crossbar. Very close opportunity, but still 2 goals in the lead. Won't be too worried about it for now, but they may be very soon. It's turned from a 3-0 into a 2-1.
And sometimes you just need to go slow long enough for your teammate to get in front and be that lead blocker for you. Amp is biding the time for Torsos to get through, who was able to find Fever, and they'll escort it in. 90 seconds remaining, and I said Power, they sum game number 1, gets CJ. CJ takes it away and all the way towards the net. It won't be a goal, but the Renegades get the win.
Well, it was dicey. They got the first 2 goals. Power seemed to level up at the end of that game, but CJ, now it's up to Power to fight back.
Let's see if Power will find that opportunity. Amphis going to pop one up, looking for the spike down, shut down on the line. Not able to find the goal on this occasion. Still looking for potentially. Eventually, Renegades do recover. Shot comes from Express. It's on the line and in. Express puts it through.
Rare mistake from Kami. Express just puts a strong shot off. A bit of a hesitation as well from Fever, but normally Kami's so good in those defensive positions. Not this time. Express has got it all on his lonesome.
Yeah, very fast play out of Express right there, and that's exactly what Power... Not quite going to find it, and CJ will get the clear.
Power been getting these clears, and this is going to give them opportunities, but the bounce has been awkward for Express. Triple commit from Renegades, and that is not what you want. There was no pressure on them whatsoever.
That was an oops moment right there.
Yeah.
Every team gets 1. I said that before, I'm going to say it again. Every team gets 1.
I mean, Renegades get 10 of them, apparently, because this is what it's been like throughout this split. They've been panicky, they've been on top of each other in net, and this is opening up a lot of space for Power. Especially with Torsos as confident as he is, it's going to be good. But if it gives that extra confidence to Amphis that we haven't seen just yet, then that's a very deadly premise.
Fever with the chance. Kami sets up CJ, and that will go in. Renegades get one through.
Wow. We've seen a few mistakes coming out. This time it was Amphis. He wanted to get that wave dash touch on the ball for the extra power and the chance to follow it up at the same time. Maybe a little bit greedy mechanically because Renegade's a gifted one.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Is only going to do wonders. Look how much time he can waste here as the clock ticks towards 0.
That said, was it enough? I think Express did just find that time. Ball will hit the ground and Power tie the series up.
They've done well for themselves, Power.
CJ once more shutting it down, and eventually, again, the clear comes through. But the Renegades always seem to have someone back just to stop any deep clears out of Power.
Well, they know when the clear's coming, and they've been able to be in position, but this time they aren't. This is dangerous because Express read that touch.
Here it comes!
That's going to be a goal. They knew what was going on. As soon as Renegades overcommit by an inch, it is over.
And Renegades had been so disciplined, I feel like, up until this point, staying back, making sure that exact play doesn't happen. But as you say, the moment a little bit too far forward, and it's all over for them now. Do it for this game. Surely it hits the ground, Yummy, but instead we keep going.
Oh, and around the corner, that's kept
no way!
Right in front of
no
him.
way!
CJ will score! Renegades tie it up on 0 seconds with just a sliver of a chance.
How did Fever have the speed to follow that up? CJ obviously going to commit for any chance they can find, and we go to an overtime in game number 3. The Renegades, how much more magic can they pull out of their hat? This kickoff goes straight to Express, and CJ will collect.
That was important. CJ was getting bumped as well by Torsos to fake out the solo play, and the power defense holds on.
Express had that pass play read, and that's how the defense stays alive for the time being. Ball thrown down to Kami, though, off the backboard. Amphis recovers. Big bump, and here comes Fever. Kami does all the work, and the Renegades take the lead in the series.
That is filthy from Kami. A little unfortunate for Torsos, but Express, he's been playing so well all game, and then all of a sudden he's not even near the net.
Oh my goodness, Kami with the wherewithal to find that.
3-1 compared to 2-2 obviously makes a huge difference. And I'm wondering whether the confidence will be there for Renegades. Well, you know what there is there for the Renegades? A little bit of a curse for power. And Express, he spawned and he held left. He thought he was going to spawn on the right. He ends up spawning on the left, and he may have been able to get back. Instead, he goes for boost.
Oh my goodness. I don't know if Express beelines it there, it would have been close either way, but still, that was a tough one to swallow. Straight down the middle. Renegades once again with that lead.
Do it without missing too many balls.
Yeah, we'll see if they're going to be able to kind of calm themselves down once more. Express!
That's a goal, surely.
Should be able to redirect that one in, and it does so. So, tie game once again. The demos, the counterattack, all goes Power's way.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a counter to how that last goal went as well. A little fortunate bounce. It went straight into Amphis, I think, or maybe Express right there, and straight towards the net without him even needing to move.
All right, even footing once more. Kickoff up for grabs. Fever is the one who takes it.
Know that Renegades like those soft passes.
Yeah, and again, though, I'm still surprised how well Power has been doing disrupting them with how far back and how much space they sometimes give the Renegades, but it has been allowing them to lunge towards it. Those bumps! The lead blocker comes through, and Amphis makes it 2-1.
And that all started because CJ missed the boost as well. So CJ took himself out, and then Amphis fakes out one, gets the bump from Express, and, well, a 2-1 lead here for Power. They're not struggling to score anymore.
Yeah, already. The equal amount of goals in this game as we saw in our last one, which included a 3-minute overtime. Both teams' offenses feeling a little bit stronger, especially Powers, as they're looking to play through that backboard once again. CJ slowing it down in the corner. Amp is already there, trying to drop it down to Torsos. Back over to Express, and that's the 3-1 lead.
Great follow-ups from Power, too. They were just beating Renegades to the ball ever so slightly with every single one of these, especially being able to get the second touch, gave them the advantage in the speed. And a 2-goal victory here. With the way Power have been able to play, I think they'll be able to hold on to it.
Yeah, you would game 4 probably slipping out of their grasp. Power did want that clear down, not going to find it, but still 2 defenders back. CJ's trying to make it 1, but doesn't find the bump.
So I haven't seen the solo plays come out from Renegades. It's all about these demos. That's huge from Amphis. That should be a goal, and it is. Amphis, he's finally stepped up to the plate. Look at this. Backwards flip reset.
Oh, great play, and then the follow-through as well with Express just knocking CJ out. Kami still had a chance for that save. It was a little bit too difficult this time around, and Power with a 3-goal cushion do look to be
trying to take it away from him and almost putting it on target.
That would have been a great shot from Amphis. Instead, well, yeah, no own goals yet. Big bump from Kami, however. CJ open net, escorts it through. 22 seconds remaining, still feels out of reach.
It is crazy that pretty much every goal has been off the bump. There's been such a mix of bumps here for the Renegades, where sometimes they're completely ineffective, and sometimes they're like that, where they're creating a goal. So we'll see. We'll see if Renegades continue that in the next game, because it can be a little risky as well going for those bumps.
Kami almost had the angle right there as well, and that could have made things very spicy to end out game number 4. Still might actually be. Fever off the backboard. CJ's there. That's going to go in. Yummy. Can they do it again?
It's going to be difficult with 8 seconds. I am going to bet right here that Power go for the fake kickoff, maybe even the Spanish. No, probably the fake. So they'll go for the fake kickoff. It'll be awkward for Renegades, and Power will keep it away to the corner.
Well, it's not a fake, and CJ creates space. Ball on that blue side of the field. Fever's there off the backboard. Kami's shot is saved on the create space. Ball on that blue side of the field. Fever's there off the backboard. Kami's shot is saved on the line. It could have been in. It still might be. CJ puts it too far forward, and Power survived when maybe they should not have.
That was insane.
Has been doing a good job finding Amphis, who has been that disrupting force. The question will be, can they keep that going? Game number 5. Win this, you go to match point. Pretty big game. Both teams still do have at least a 1-game cushion, and whoa, interesting kickoff from Power.
They went for the fake kickoff. The unfortunate thing is, Renegades read it. So Fever slowed down his touch as soon as he expected it would happen, and that leaves it easily for Kami, because normally with that fake kickoff, that guy at the back for Power is waiting for the touch to him. It left him too far away to challenge Kami. I'm
so happy someone's been able. And there's still awkward double commit from Power. Very risky plays coming from the team on the blue side of the field.
Oh, but look at Torso, still outpacing people, getting a chance in front of net. Fever, though, very good in the solo play defenses, very good in the 1v1 situations. Kami must into the top corner.
Oh, the power from this one right here. Shabang! Straight through, and it doesn't get much more accurate than that. 116 kilometers per hour, 2-0 lead. The Renegades putting that timeout to use.
This may actually go Renegades' way. Little pop down, little bit too soft for Kami.
As CJ is going to throw it down. Fever didn't like that look. Leaves it for Kami instead to keep the pressure moving forwards. Off that backward, CJ waiting. CJ striking. It's off the defender and in. The Renegades with a 3-goal cushion.
You can understand why Torsos doesn't get this. He had to put on the brakes because why isn't CJ shooting into the top left? That's where he's expected. But we know CJ, he likes trying to get behind the defender, and he just managed to do it this time.
Another one of those chaotic CJ approaches that we saw back in game number.
Expected that Power would have had a lot of opportunities, but the latter half of this game, Renegades kept it safe and clean.
Yeah, they kept it very clean. That was easily the best looking Renegades we've seen yet this series. First time since game 1 where we can say they were the better.
To the chances, but a demo in front. CJ was hoping to double that off the corner just to give Fever a little time to go for a bump.
CJ still almost turned that into a goal, collecting the own waterfall, but the bump didn't really come through, and now we go back up the other way. Torsos using all of that boost to create as much chaos as possible. Might be just enough for Amphis to find a setup to Express, and Power do get the first goal.
That extra time built from that bump coming out from Torsos. Kami had to go up the wall to avoid it, and it's such a nice touch from Amphis against the wall to beat him.
Yeah, Express as well. Just
full time.
Yeah, that was one of those rare occasions where it looked like CJ was just a little bit too slow in finding the shot despite the work Fever put in. Renegades are not done, however. Kami going to look across to CJ, who is there, puts the shot high. Down tries to throw it back down. Fever didn't have the boost to follow straight away. Counterattack will be a goal. Renegades a little sloppy on that one.
Very sloppy from Fever here. He saw the pass, kind of started committing to it. He actually flipped forward and realized his mistake. So bit of a mistake between CJ and Fever. Power, they're winning off.
Get to a game 7 here, a minute 45 remaining.
Well, especially with a game 7 where Renegades don't have that timeout. That's going to be crucial here for Renegades if for Power, if they make a massive advantage in terms of the play style.
That said, however, Renegades have had a couple late comebacks already in this series. I don't want to write them off just yet, although I have the pen at the ready because Amphis just made it 3-0.
They've been winning every race. They've been catching Fever off guard. Fever is more likely to play the defense off the ground there, and that makes it so much smarter that Power...
CJ tries to get Kami, who just misses out on that dunk. Also a little bit too tight for the Renegades to find a strike. Express tries to play it forward. CJ's there. Fever looked for the bump, but couldn't find Amphis.
Yeah, he had to make a choice whether it was going to be the bump or trying to get a redirect on in front of the defender, and he went for the bump himself, Fever, and as it worked out, Torsos, a goal at the other end. We're going to go to a game 7.
Oh boy, of course it would be a game 7 between these two. What else could it possibly be? Torsos once more on that counterattack. Power has found a couple goals, it feels like, in this fashion. B, right? like beat your rival in that regard, show them up at the Sans Power, though. They're probably thinking one more game and we're going to London. That final hurdle is now in front of them. Do they make that jump right now?
An extremely comfortable one for Power. Really, really matters, but for Renegades, it just really, really matters because they kind of have to win this series to have a good chance to make it.
Yeah, they would love that opportunity to send the Pioneers down to that lower bracket, put as much of their destiny into their own hands as possible. Power, they have the destiny in their hands. They have that ability to go now, but Fever with the solo play off the ceiling makes it a 1-0 game.
It didn't take him 7 games. It took him about 50, but right now, in event 3 of the split, he finally shows up with an amazing goal for Power.
Torsos misses out. Kami still gets a bump on 0 boost, and Renegades right back where they left off, looking for that 2-goal lead. Torsos will get it past the first attacker, doesn't get it past the second. CJ's bump opens the door, and Kami makes it 2-0.
What is he in their net? This is insane from CJ. He doesn't back out. He's like, this is going to be a shot. My teammate is going to win the race to the ball after Power have won every race to the ball in the air throughout the series. CJ still has that trust in Kami.
And now he might get another one off the kick, and CJ's bump opens the door, and Kami makes it 2-0.
What is he in their net? This is insane from CJ. He doesn't back out. He's like, this is going to be a shot. My teammate is going to win the race to the ball after Power have won every race to the ball in the air throughout the series. CJ still has that trust in Kami.
And now he might get another one off the kickoff. It goes in. Renegades 3-0 lead, and we're not even 2 minutes into Game 7.
Oh, this is devastating for Power. And Renegade.
At the start, you know, sometimes later these series get CJ starts to slow down, starts to be a bit more conventional. Goal number 2, a testament to what happens when he still stays chaotic.
Wait,
and now Kami again! Oh boy!
Power continue crumbling under the pressure. Oh, and it was Express. We talked about this. Who is going to crumble more? Wow, that right there, proof in point.
The final hurdle is always the hardest, Yummy, and Power, 1 game away from going to a LAN, are not in a...
More. Wow, that right there, proof in point.
The final hurdle is always the hardest, Yummy, and Power, 1 game away from going to a LAN, are not in a good position to get this game done. Still time left on the clock, 2.5 minutes. We saw the fake kickoff right there, but it doesn't get that quick goal that Power might need. They need to start getting points, and that's going to be the start. Express able to get one through.
Okay. Well, both teams crumbling a little bit here. CJ completely missing that one. And, well, there's a lot of time in this game, so they've just given hope.
Torsos not required. Instead, it's an Amphis play through the middle of the field. Now Torsos goes for the challenge, looking for a way to get it centered, finds a bump, couldn't get the pinch, still gets the pass out. Amphis wasn't ready for it.
Credit to Renegades. They are not sitting on their laurels. They are still pushing for goals. They're still pushing forward. They're still pushing Power to the brink. And you can see over in the Power camp, no happy faces. This is really rough at the moment.
Meanwhile, just a nice little smug smile on the face of Fever right there.
Yeah, when do you see a smile from Fever? Well, when he knows he's won. No happy faces. This is really rough at the moment.
Meanwhile, just a nice little smug smile on the face of Fever right there.
Yeah, when do you see a smile from Fever? Well, when he knows he's won.
Yeah, they're feeling pretty good. 100 seconds, 4-goal differential, maybe make it 5 as Kami almost gets it to Fever. Still, it's going to be CJ across the middle, and now it is a 5-goal lead.
You can't blame Power for pushing everything they possibly can forward. Torsos wanted to try and do it, but CJ, he's got the heart of a lion. He's just staying in the midfield.
And we were talking about games with that land-in implications. That's going to be a major one. If the Renegades, they probably will hold on. Another goal would be enough for sure, but they don't quite get it in just yet.
Fever backwards, can't score a goal either. We had that one great goal from Fever. Will we see another? It's a good read. Fever finds the Brazil.
There it is. You know, a shout out to the team Renegades always beats when they go to those LAN events, as Fever will put it in 7-1 score line. I'm sure our Twitch chat is having a ball with that one right now because
exactly how to do it. And this was despite Power having so many great games throughout this series. It just shows that these two teams are constantly adapting, constantly trying to find the advantage over each other. And, well, for the first time in 6 series, they have taken the win, Renegades.
Yeah, Power will still get one through. I guess save yourself a little bit of the humiliation from that scoreline on a Game 7. That said, though, this has been the best Renegades have looked all split quite easily. Power still looks to be playing near their best.
Power, I still believe in them in the lower bracket. This is still good enough to win in the lower bracket.
Oh, you would absolutely have to think so. That said, mentally, how do you bounce back? The Renegades will get that win. They will move through. And for Power, they go from playing